Hey guys, welcome to a Tales of Middle-earth Battle Company Battle Report. I'm Adam, and
I'm Andrew.
And today we're going to be playing, obviously, Battle Companies. So I'll be using my Corsairs of Umbar against your
Moria
Goblins. If you have seen my last Battle Companies Battle Report versus Ash, you'll know that he decimated me pretty significantly, and I only have 4 models for this match, and you have all of yours.
A full company,
Yeah,
ready to go.
Which is how many?
8, 9, 10.
Oh, 10 models against 4. So with that being said, in the Battle Companies rules, I get to select the mission that we're playing. So we're going to be playing Ambush, which I'll go over that when I am showing you the table, stuff like that. So we might as well get into showing you the armies, then showing you the board, and going over the mission.
Let's do it.
All right, guys, so this is my battle company that I have left for this mission. So I have Bosun Peej, which is the guy with the crossbow. He's wearing heavy armor. Then to his left is Barak. He's carrying a shield, throwing weapons, and a hand weapon. And then to his left, you have Umeric and then Raven. So Umeric just has a boarding pike and throwing weapons. Then Raven has the bow and the throwing weapons as well. So let's go over to Andrew's battle company next. All right, and here is Andrew's battle company. Andrew, can you walk us through? So who's your leader? Let's start with him first.
So our leader is this model here. He is Shagrat.
Shagrat.
So he's got heavy armor on.
Okay.
And a shield.
Yeah, and then you have your 2...
My first lieutenant is this model right here.
Yeah.
And that is Fatlum.
Fatlum?
Yeah.
Nice.
And the other lieutenant is the little goblin with the sword in the air.
Yeah.
And he is... Snagat.
Snagat,
yeah.
And so that's this one right there. Yeah. Okay, and then so besides those, you have another goblin bowman in the back there.
Yeah.
2 wargs, 3 spear support, and then a guy with a sword and shield there. So that is Andrew's battle company. So we'll show you the table and go over the rules next. Alright guys, so this is the board that we're playing on. So we are playing Ambush as stated. So basically I will be the attacker and he will be the defender. So this road is that center line between the trees and these buildings here, where I can't deploy within 12 inches of this board edge right here. So I can't deploy within 12 inches of that. So the whole objective to this game is to actually, for Andrew, to get 33% of his models. So that would be 4 models off the road at this end of the table. And for me, I have to stop him from doing that with my 4 models. But I'm hoping my shooting really helps. So he will be moving on over there during his turn, and I will be deploying anywhere outside of 12 inches of the starting location for Andrew. The only special rule for this mission is that all my guys get concealing cloaks from the battle companies, and that allows me basically to use an elven cloak until I move or activate them in the sense of shooting or something along those lines. So we're going to get into deployment and then priority and right into the game next. Alright, so my deployment has completed. So I have Barak and Umeric setting up behind that tree over there, creeping out behind the ruins there. Then I have Bosun Peej and Raven down setting up there. They do have clear line of sight all the way down this road, so they will be able to hopefully shoot at anything that comes up on that road within the first turn or 2. So that's my deployment, so we're going to go into priority next, and then hopefully Andrew's models will be moving on where I want them. Alright, so here's the priority roll. I got a 6 to Andrew's 5. Well, let's get into the turn. Alright, so my turn is to keep these guys absolutely still in the movement phase, so they are not moving. So we'll go right into Andrew's movement phase next. So this is the end of the movement phase. Andrew moved up his goblins 5 inches and his wargs about 8 just to keep them outside of any shooting range for me. So no shooting this turn from myself or Andrew. No combats, so we'll get into priority. Priority round number 2. I got a 4 to your 1. We'll come back after movements. End of the movement phase. Andrew has moved one of his wargs up over there. Goblins moved up the road another 5 inches. And another one of the wargs moved up over there. My guys did not move again. They are holding their positions here and here. I do have 2 shots at that one warg, but I do have it in the way because of the tree. So we'll go into shooting next. So I'm going to start shooting first with Peej. So here's his 4+, hopefully to hit. That's a 2. That's nothing. And then going into Raven next. And that's 1. So again, no shooting from me. So that's all there is for this round. We're going to go into turn 3 priority next. Turn 3 priority. 4 to my 2. Priority Andrew. End of the movement phase. The warg moved up over there. Goblins have shifted up over this way. Are now probably in range of the crossbow and bow. 1 goblin has went over here. And the other warg over there. And again, my guys stayed stationary exactly where they were. So Peej and Raven ended up staying there and not moving so they can shoot fully. And then we have over here, we have Barok and Umeric that have decided to move down to hopefully counter the movement of that warg. So let's go into shooting next. Alright, so we're going to start off with Peej here. I'm going to be targeting this warg all the way over here. I will have 2 in the ways for him, so let's see if he hits first off. So that's a hit. Now the first in the way. Gets by. Second in the way. Does not. So we're going to go down to Raven next. That's a miss. So that's my shooting, and Andrew had no shooting this round, so we'll go into priority next. Priority. Andrew has a 2 versus my 3, priority Umbar. Alright, this goblin here has moved an inch and is going to hopefully climb up onto the barrier, or the walls. And he successfully gets up with a 4. Okay, this goblin here has moved up to the ruined walls. He's going to try climbing it. Gets up. Alright, so it's the end of the move phase for turn number 3. And so, those guys did not move. Those guys over here did move. This warg has decided to hide behind that statue there. Air line of sight at everybody. These goblins are doing the exact same thing, coming around hiding. You have the one up there, the one over there, and the fell warg hiding behind that wall. So there's no shooting this phase because I have no line of sight. No attacks this phase. Let's go into priority next for turn number 4. Here's priority. My 4 to Andrew 6. Andrew has priority. Let's see where he goes. Alright, so the end of this round's movement. So the 2 corsairs have moved up there against that Feldwarg. They have moved just over half, but they can still throw their throwing weapons, which they plan on doing. These goblins are making their ways through the ruins, trying to keep themselves in cover. There is 1 shot available for Peej into this goblin there. You have this goblin up here, which can't even see over the wall. And so that's pretty useless. And this goblin over here, who can't see through the trees to shoot anything. So that's not a good position either. And that Felwarg again has decided not to move. So we'll come back with my shooting phase. Bows on Peej, starting off with him first into that guy right there. Needing force to hit. No hit. Over here we have Barok throwing his throwing dagger into that warg, needing 5s. It's a hit. Then he needs the 5s again to wound. It's a 2, so nothing. Next, Raven's going to be shooting in, or throwing his throwing weapon into the warg, needing 5s. That's a 2. That is nothing. Priority, turn number 5. 2 and 2. You had priority last, so it goes to me. Alright, so I'm going to charge in with Barok first, right here. As he gets in there, he's going to do his throwing weapon. That is not a hit. And then over here, Raven's going to back him up with spear support. These guys here staying stationary again. We'll come back after the goblin movement. This goblin, seeing the flaws in his ways of jumping up on that building, is deciding to now jump down. Yeah, he jumps down on the other side. Alright, this goblin here is jumping up on the other side. He gets up onto that ledge and can now hopefully shoot. Alright, movement's done, so those guys stayed there, like I said. These goblins are moving up. You got the one up there and the one on the far side of that building. Got the warg hiding behind the tree with his flank sticking out, and these guys are in combat there. So we're going into the shooting next. Starting off with bows on Peej. He's going to be shooting into that goblin right there, needing force to hit. That's a 2. That is a miss. And then Raven down below there, he's going to be shooting into the same goblin there, needing 4s. And that's another 2. That's another miss. Right when my shots actually make a difference. That goblin there, who are you shooting into with him?
Shooting at this guy on top here.
He's shooting into Bosun Peej. Come on, leave Peter Jackson alone. All right, go ahead.
Needing a 6 because I moved.
Yep. And he gets a 4.
Not quite.
So nothing. We'll come back with combats next. All right, so Barak and Umeric have charged into that warg there. So I have 2 dice versus his 1. I have 5 highest versus his 2. So I win the fight. Here's the rolls, needing 5s to wounds. And there's nothing. I probably should have determined who was rolling what before I actually rolled, but there's nothing there. All right, priority turn number 6. I got a 4 versus his 2, priority Umbar. Again, Barak's charging into that ward. He's going to use his throwing weapon first, needing a 5. There's a 6, needing another 5. There's another 6. Oh. Barak takes out that fell ward there and gets the first kill of the game. All right, so Barak is actually just going to move back around this corner, back over this way. And then Raven has moved up there. That way he can hopefully get his throwing dagger off later on. Peej and Raven stayed there, did not move. All right, this goblin moved over there, 2 inches. He's going to use the rest of the movement to move up. And he rolled a 1, so he does get a 2 because of Cave Dweller, so he jumps up on top there. All right, so this warg has moved up and is about to charge down Raven on the bottom floor over there. All these goblins have skirted around, and hopefully Umeric still has a throwing weapon shot. That goblin stayed stationary, and as you know, that guy climbed up over there. So we'll go into shooting next. Umeric here is going to be shooting into the spear support right there. He did move, so he needs 5s. Gets it. Needs 5s again. And gets the 1. Boo. Peej here is going to be shooting into that goblin right there. He needs 4s. That's a 1. And then Raven right below him is going to be shooting into that warg. Throwing his throwing weapon into that warg there. And rolls a 1. That is the story of my life right now. Alright, so this goblin here is going to be targeting Umeric there.
Needing 5?
5s. And that is a 2, so no shooting. No combat this phase. We'll come back with priority next. Priority, turn number 7. I rolled a 1, 2, and there's 4. Alright, so Bosun Peej has decided to use his 1 point of might to call a heroic move. So Peej is going to stay stationary right there, but he is going to call with me and have Raven charge into the Fellwarg there. Before he gets into combat with Raven, he's going to use his throwing weapon. That's a 4. Does not hit. Alright, so at the end of the movement phase, these 2 guys have moved up full. They are still able to throw their throwing weapons, hopefully. Over here, with the heroic move that Bosun Peej called, Raven charged into the Fellwarg and missed with his throwing weapon, and Peej stayed stationary. These goblins here did end up moving up towards the end of the road, and his 2 goblin bowmen are staying stationary for shooting. So this goblin here is shooting into Peej first. Misses, and he's going to do the same thing with that goblin over there. Misses as well. So we'll go into my shooting next. Umeric here is going to shoot into the forward goblin there with the spear, needing 5s. Nope. And then Barak is going to be shooting into that goblin at the end there, needing 5s. No. Yeah, Bosun Peej here. He's going to be shooting into his goblin captain. Nice. And that's a 1. I don't think I rolled anything over a 2 in the shooting phase. We do have 1 combat, so we'll go into that next. Alright, so here's the 1 combat for the round. So I got a 1. Again, versus a 6. So the warg wins. Alright, needing 4s to kill off Umeric, or Raven, sorry. And there's a 5, and he has no fate, so he is removed from the game. Alright, priority turns. 8. 2. And a 2. You had priority last, Andrew, so it goes priority Umbar. Alright, so we're going to go in the movement phase first. So we're going to have Barak move into this guy here. And before he does, he's going to use his throwing weapon, needing 5s. That's cocked die. Let's try this again. That's a 2. Nothing. Then Umeric here is going to be charging into that goblin there. And before he does, throwing dagger. That's a 3. So nothing again. This is what it looks like at the end of the movement phase in turn 8. You got the goblin there. Got another one there. You got those guys all bunched up over here. And these guys are getting closer to exiting the board. So we'll go into shooting phase next. Starting off here with Bosun Peej shooting into the goblin spearman right there. So he needs force. What is up with that? That's a 2. Alright, this goblin here shooting into Bosun Peej. See if he hits. That is a solid hit in the way. Gets through. Now you need 6s to wound. And it's a 2, so nothing. Combat's over here. I'm going to start off with Barak first. He gets a 6 and he wins. So we're needing 5s to wound. And there's a 3. Over here with this combat, Umeric versus another goblin. Rolling a 2. And he has a 4. So the goblin wins and pushes Umeric back. Does he take him out? That's a 4, so that is not good. Yeah, it is good enough. You're strength 3.
Strength 3.
Versus defense 3. Umeric is taken out. Round number 9. Priority. 6 to his 2. Priority Umbar. Alright, so at the beginning of the movement phase, Andrew has called a heroic march for his goblins. And we'll go right into my movement next. Alright, over here, Barak's going to charge into 2, but before he does, he's going to use a throwing weapon. Needing a 5. And that's a 1. Stereotypical for my rolling this round. Alright, so far the goblins have gotten off 1 warg and then have moved everybody up to the edge of the board, almost off. They'll be off next round. There is that combat there, and Beach stayed stationary, so did the 2 goblins there. So we'll go into shooting next. Bosun's shooting into the spear supporting goblin there, needing 4s. There's a 5, needing 4s again. There's a 2! He needs to roll better than a 2 to wound. My guys are useless this game. This goblin here shooting into Peej over there. Let's see what happens. That's a 1. And nothing. Now you know what it feels like to roll 1s. It's terrible. This combat here, so Barak versus 2. I rolled a 4. Oh! He got a 5. Alright. So I get pushed back. Let's see what happens. And there's that 6 to wound. I'm going to roll my fate next. And he is dead. Priority turn number 10, and I believe the last one of the round. 4 to your 1. Well, I know what I'm doing for my movement. So at the end of the movement phase, these 2 orcs have moved back there. That goblin, has jumped down there. That one's staying out that way. And all the rest of them have gotten off. So it's technically a win this round for Andrew and his goblins. Beach is the only one standing. I'm going to go into shooting phase here because the game will end at the end of this round. He's going to be shooting into this goblin there on the right side of the screen. 4 to hit. In the way for the tree. Nothing. So that's the end of the game. We'll come back with the breakdown of the armies and stuff like that and how they gained experience, and then the after action report after that. So here's the injury rolls for my 2 warriors that died. I have Raven and I have Umeric, so we'll start with Raven first. He makes full recovery. And then Umeric, he is injured, so he sits out next game. Alright, so here's Barak's roll on the injury table. He rolls 2d6 because he is a hero, and he gets a 7, which is a full recovery. Alright, so this is what has happened with my warband. So Umeric here, he actually is sitting out next game, but he has gained 1 experience just from participating in the battle, so he's sitting at 2 experience. Bosun Peej here, sitting at 2 experience. He's in the next one. We then have Raven here, who is also sitting at 2 experience. Then Barak sitting at 4 experience and will level up for sure next game. And these 2 here, Ragnar the Spearman and Emir, which is the shield and sword guy, will be coming back after this fight for the next one. So that is my battle company for the next match. Here's my gold roll for this round. So I get d6 plus 1. So I get 6 gold on top of my 5. I think it's time to buy some more guys. All right, so Andrew's warband fared pretty well. They all survived back there. The only injury he took was this warg here by Barak. So on a 1, he is dead. 2 and 3 sits out next round you play with them, and then 4 through 6, they're fine. So there's a 6, he makes full recovery. And then we'll come back with experience in that next. All right, so these 3 models all gain an experience for wounding. They are warriors, so they don't level up or anything, but they do gain the extra experience. So this guy, for winning or for participating in a battle and wounding somebody, all 3 of them will have 3 experience each. 2 experience each. All the rest of his warriors will have 1, and then his heroes will have 1 for winning the game and 1 for participating, so 2 as well. So. Nothing else here changes, so you get D6 plus 4 gold. So he gets 5 gold for winning this game. All right, so just as a FYI, I am spending some of my gold. I'm going to be buying myself, to go with this warband, a Warrior of Umbar, which is basically one of the men of the Last Alliance, but that are allied with Umbar and the city of Umbar. I will be giving him a shield for this as well, so that's a total of 8 gold spent out of my 11. Hey guys, welcome to the After Action Report. You saw the match between Andrew and I, and he thoroughly destroyed me again. I had 1 guy left. Bosun Peej. Peej hasn't taken a wound yet with this warband, even though it's the only second time I played it. And I knew I was going to lose, but I was hoping at least to take out a couple of guys with that one. I thought I had a little bit of advantage in my favor, making you come to me in that, but that wasn't the case, eh?
Tactical genius of the goblins was too much.
The tactical genius of the goblins, jumping across the cliffs and the ruins, and I did kill a warg.
You did.
Barak is my hero of the game. And I guess your spear supporting warriors would be
spear supporting warriors, not supporting.
Yeah, no, taking guys down.
Taking names.
Kicking butts and taking names. So, besides that, how did you think the match went? You enjoyed it? It was fun, yeah?
Goblins, they did me well.
Yeah, is this your first time playing Battle Companies?
I played once before.
Okay.
With a similar company.
Yeah.
But it's safe to say those guys have retired. It's a new set of goblins.
Yeah, well, we just made it. Well, you just made it today, so that's awesome. Well, Andrew, thank you very much for coming down. It was a good game, and until next time. You'll see more of Andrew soon, as he's going to be doing more Battle Companies with Taylor coming up in the next week or so. Enjoy, guys. Thank you for watching. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, ignite your hobby.